Hello and welcome to the video. Gordon here of G17 Collectibles. Well, I never thought I would see the day, but the John Lander from Soosoo Toys has finally arrived. Now, as the title of the video suggests, it's been a very long wait. Over 2.5 years it's taken Toys Wonderland to deliver this figure. And I'll be honest, I am really surprised it actually came. It's been a long wait. Part of that 2.5 year period was the pre-order period. And for at least 18 months, this figure probably has been released. And I have waited and emailed and communicated with Toys Wonderland, and I'd basically written this one off. I thought, nah, I'm not getting the money back for this one. It's gone. I've been scammed, as everybody else has been. But through no real tactics, no pressure or no constant emailing, it has arrived, and I'm shocked to the core. Really looking forward to this one because it's a figure I really wanted. I'm going to take you through some of the details behind the whole Toys Wonderland order process and the wait whilst we have a look at this and unbox. So yeah, stay tuned. We'll go through it. We'll have a look at the figure inside, and let's discuss the last 2.5 years of waiting for this one. So here we are, John Lander, 1/6 Gil collectible from Soosoo Toys. This is Homelander from The Boys. I'm sure you all know that and can work that out. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about really is the packaging this arrived in. Pretty pathetic. It literally is a very thin corrugated packet sleeve, and that's no bubble wrap, no protection measures. It literally was wrapped in this very thin cardboard sleeve. So I wasn't massively impressed with that. I feel as if Toys Wonderland could have done a better job. But I'm not going to hugely complain about it. I'm just really glad that the figure has arrived. So there you are. If you do get anything from Toys Wonderland, don't expect really high quality, extreme packaging. Now, taking a look at the figure, and as I promised and stated at the beginning of the video, I will tell you the kind of story behind ordering this. So I ordered this in August 2021. It was a pre-order item. I paid up front, no deposit. It was a full payment option only. So I think, given conversion rates at the time, this was £160, and that was including the shipping fee. And I paid it and waited patiently on the figure being released. Now, the first question I know you'll ask me is, why on earth did you order from Toys Wonderland when they're such a scam and poor company to deal with? Well, I'll be honest with you. I didn't have a problem with Toys Wonderland at the time. All this drama with the company started after I had ordered this. Now, this is the 5th purchase I believe I had made from Toys Wonderland. When they first came on the scene, let's say 3 years ago, they had a lot of products. They had a lot of really good stuff at good prices. And I ordered and received quite quickly as a normal, normal shipping, etc. I received things easily without any issue. So I think I got the Hot Toys Alita from them. I got a Hot Toys Show Trooper, Hot Toys Armourer, which was a pre-order product, which I had some difficulty in because they didn't send me it within the first week of that being released. I had to actually prod and poke them for a week or two before the owner, Philip Lou, I think his name was, actually got involved and said, yeah, okay, sorry, we'll send you the product. So it was 3 weeks after release or something when I got the Armourer, which wasn't great, but I still got it. And there was something else that I'd ordered from them. It escapes me. But I'd ordered about 3 or 4 figures from them, which all arrived. I think the Billy Butcher was one of them. They all arrived no issues, no problems at all. Toys Wonderland were reputable at that time because they just kicked off. But there wasn't a lot of experience in the marketplace with collectors because they were such a new company. It was only months after this pre-order product I had put in that the drama started to happen and the really poor performance started to show from the company. So when this was released, I wasn't expecting to really get the figure, although I had hopes. I thought, well, my experience so far has been relatively quite good. I've got 4 out of 4 figures with no real hassle or drama. Let's just see if they come through. 18 months later, and a lot of hassle, they eventually have came through, but that's not to say that they've changed their ways. I can only tell you my experience. Okay, so here's a figure. On initial glance, you've got the clamshell here, we've got some accessories, so we've got the shoulder pauldrons, some hands, the wee milk bottle. Let's take the clamshell out. And lift the lid on this and take a look at what we get. So I think this was the special edition one for pre-order customers. You got the additional busts here. So you've got a gold bust and a silver bust. You've got the figure, 3 head sculpts. One's on the figure and 2 are loose. I noticed we've got some batteries there, and the stand and the flight pole underneath. So let's get it all out the box and take a closer look. Okay, so before we take a look at the actual figure, let's have a look around all the parts that the Homelander or John Lander figure comes with. So first we'll take a look at this tray. And we have the shoulder pauldrons, milk bottle, number of hands. We have this quite a nice stand, the hexagon shape with the metal insert for the flight pole. It is textured, you can see that kind of checker plate detail. Homelander's colours, the symbol in the middle, American flag. Nice design round the outside. Flight pole is just a standard flight pole. Let's take a look at the head sculpts. So this is the kind of angry laser eyes. Now it does come with batteries. I haven't read the instructions, but I'm assuming, yep. So that pops out and the batteries go in here. It has a couple of LEDs there, which I assume, when fitted behind, will give the eyes a nice glow. This head sculpt isn't too terrible. It's painted actually really well. And I can see, from a detail perspective, the actual sculpt, they have put some nice creases, skin textures around the eyes and the nose. You can see some quite nice detail there. Although, is it a true, accurate reflection of the actor? It's a little bit off for me. I don't think it's a head sculpt I would use, to be fair. The hair's done pretty nice. But it's close. It is close. It's a close Homelander sculpt. Let's take a look at the next one. The next one, again, it's sculpted really well. You can see all them creases in the face. This little bit of hair here is not attached, so it's kind of floating on top of the face. Paint application is really good. The eyes look really good. Again, is it accurate? No. I think it's close, but it's just not as close as it probably should be. I think, to be honest with you, I'm quite disappointed in this because the prototype was really good. The prototype was really accurate from my memory. And I think Soosoo dulled that quality down when it came to the production item. So I'm pretty disappointed, and I think the worst head sculpt's yet to come. It's the one that's actually in the figure. Here is the bust, the silver bust. Now, as I mentioned before, this was a couple of special items that if you pre-ordered, you would get. I'm kind of glad I've got them. I don't think I'll be using them next to the figure, but I don't know. I'll stick them together and see what they look like. Just hard resin. The detail's pretty nice. It has the little Homelander, and that reminds me very much of kind of German text, the way that's been wrote. That's the belt, obviously. The upper torso. It's got a bit of weight to it, so it's a fairly nice piece. You know, it's nice to get with the figure. That's kind of a very flexible plastic. The gold one, exactly the same. Exact same mould, exact same production. Get a bit more flexible on the cape there. Again, bit of weight to it. So obviously your head sculpt will just pop on. And there you have a nice little bust of Homelander as well. So I'm not upset about that. I think they're quite nice things to have. It allows you, if you wanted to display the other head sculpts. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. I think that's a nice touch. Whether I use them or not, it's a different story. Let's take a look at the figure now, and we'll talk a little bit more about Toys Wonderland. Okay, so here is the figure, and I've just pulled out the shoulder pauldrons from the box. So they're quite nice, nicely painted, nicely sculpted. They do have a magnet on the back, so I assume, and yep, they just literally go onto the magnet underneath the suit. So let's put both of them on. Now this is the part that I'm quite disappointed with. The suit's quite nice. The body's nice. You can see there's some ab detail and some muscle work below that. I think the suit's been done relatively quite well, down to the boots. There's not really any weathering on this whatsoever. The suit looks brand new, which is fine. I'm not upset about that. Cape's a bit polyestery. It has got a wire in the bottom and round the sides, but it feels like a kind of cheap, toyish cape. The bit I'm most disappointed with is the head sculpt. It is better than the production pictures that I've saw, but I think it's a miss. I think the prototype was far better, but overall it's close, but it could be a lot closer. And this is the sculpt that I was wanting to really use for that stoic kind of, you know, I'm going to mess you up expression is what I was planning to use for the figure. So yeah, bit more in Toys Wonderland as we go along. You know, I think they are, I'm not advocating them in any way, shape or form, but I think they are trying to do the right thing. They've clearly had a lot of issues. How they're still in business is absolutely beyond me. I was expecting them to kind of disappear off the face of the earth with all the bad press they've been getting. And people just constantly having issues with them. I don't know how they're still in business, but yeah, they are. I think they are trying. I've seen a lot of people getting their figures through, which have been outstanding for maybe more than a year. But there are a lot of people out there who still, after a lot of time, are not getting what they paid for. Hopefully that situation starts to get corrected. I think I've been lucky. I didn't do anything particularly special here to get this figure. I'd emailed them a couple of times in last year to kind of get a status on the order, saying where is it. They're very hit and miss whether they reply to you. More often than not, I got no response. October last year, I got a tracking number, just all of a sudden tracking number, and found out it was a tracking number you couldn't track. So I think a lot of collectors have experienced this, where the shipping's been organised, but it's false. They're not going to ship anything. I emailed them to say, you know, where's the figure? And I was very nice and polite about it. You know, I wasn't like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I wasn't getting the money back. Too much time had passed for me to make any sort of claim. And the annoying part was, you know, this figure was being released. I could have bought it from other retailers, but I didn't really want to go out and spend another £120 to £150 buying the same figure. I thought, well, you know, it's one of these things. I'll just take the hit and it's lost. But emailed them a few times, was very polite. Hi, you can have a status on the update, you know, what's going on with it. A couple of times they responded and said, yep, okay, yep, we've got your order. It's not in stock at the moment, which on their website it was. And then just a week ago, I just got an email to say your order is being prepared for shipment. And then a couple of days later, UPS tracking notice to say it was going to be delivered the next day. So it was shipped via UPS, and it was here pretty sharpish. But, you know, again, it's one I didn't think I was going to get. And again, no special tactics here, no threats and no whatever. It was a case of me just literally emailing them every so often and saying, hi, how are you? Hope you're well. Really looking forward to getting this figure. Can you give me an update? Can you give me a status? I wasn't pestering them. I had a lot of patience behind it because I wrote it off. I didn't think I was going to get it, so I wasn't really going to chase very hard on it. And as I said, sometimes they responded, sometimes they didn't. And when they did respond, it was thanks very much, appreciate your response. I mean, whether this is the tactic to use or not, I think if you are patient and you're polite and you're nice and you don't put pressure on them, maybe they'll be more responsive to that. Maybe. I don't know. I think I'm just one of the lucky ones. I genuinely think it's just a fluke. But anyway, I hope that if you do have anything outstanding with Toys Wonderland, that you can have some hope and some patience that maybe, just maybe, your figure will arrive. Who knows? You know, they do seem to be changing the way in which they do things. Marginally. I'm not saying they're perfect. I'm not saying they're going to fulfill all orders. But maybe, just maybe, keep your fingers crossed, collectors, that maybe something will come through. Okay, sorry, I've spoke far too long in that, but I thought that was, you know, important to talk about. Let's get Homelander posed up and let's get him next to Billy Butcher in the shelves and have a look. Okay, so very simplistic pose. That is exactly what I had in my head. The arms behind the back. I've actually put the two busts next to, which I think looks pretty good if it was going to be on its own. I think as a display piece, the two busts do add to the overall figure. So I really do like them now. Now that I've got it set up in that kind of arrangement. I really do quite like it. Again, just a very simplistic pose. I think, yeah, the head sculpt's a bit of a miss. I'm going to go, I've seen a few custom head sculpts. I'm going to go and buy one and see what difference that will make to the overall figure, because I think the body's good, I think the tailoring's good, I think the costume's good. I'm a little bit disappointed with that cape. I do like the base, I do like the busts. I think the angry head sculpt is probably the stronger of the three. I don't like the one on the bottom right hand corner on the gold torso. But yeah, I'll go and find a custom and see if the custom will lift the figure. So I'm going to go and put them in the cabinet now and take a look and see how that looks next to Billy Butcher. Okay, so here is Homelander now settled into the cabinet alongside Billy Butcher, who's also done by Soosoo Toys. Now I do think Billy Butcher was a real good release from Soosoo. I really liked that one, and I thought they got the figure and the sculpt nailed. Homelander, Slightly disappointed, but now that they're alongside each other and they're probably at waist height, the angle I'm standing at is something like this. They look really great together in the cabinet, they really do. And that sculpt from this angle feels a lot better to me. It does feel as if looking down on the sculpt has certainly improved the overall look. And if you do step back from a distance, I think overall the figure and the sculpt looks pretty good from a distance. It's only when you become up close and look at that sculpt on Homelander that you think, it's not truly as accurate as it could be, but I'm actually really quite happy with it. As I said, you know, from this angle, from this distance, it does look pretty good. You'll also notice I've put a little plaque. I had that made at the same time I had that one made, a couple of pounds from somebody on eBay, really good creator and seller. So I've added that little plaque on the front, and yeah, I think it just gives the stand a little bit more. I've tried to put the busts in, but with the Blaladin cabinets, it was too crammed. Too much going on in there. So I'll find maybe another place for the busts. They maybe end up back in the box, but if I can find somewhere to put them, I may use them. So that's it, the Soosoo Toys John Lander, aka Homelander from the boys. Now into the collection, finally, after 2.5 years. I'm really happy. I think overall it fits in really well with the collection. It's another box tick to say yes, I now have that figure. As I said, I'll look at another head sculpt and see if I can get a better one for it. But again, from this angle, from this distance, it's not as bad as potentially what some of the photographs online look like. And certainly in hand, it looks better from a distance as well. So that's it. Thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. Hope you enjoyed this one and was entertained slightly by the whole Toys Wonderland story. Until the next one, take care.